Dear foreign workers, we are here for you. We have collected all the questions you sent us concerning the situation in Israel. We have professionals from various fields who will answer your questions. We thank you for your support of Israel and for your dedication to your work. The call center is available to you at the following telephone number: 1-700-707-889. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. The past 12 days have been extremely difficult for the people of Israel and also for people from all around the world watching us and are completely shocked. I am sure that your family and your friends at home are very worried, and I can understand their concerns. We are experiencing one of the most difficult times and the most challenging times that Israel has ever known. And you, as people who live and work in Israel, are part of this reality. Like everyone in Israel, I can imagine that you found yourself in a frightening and unbearable reality that is important, and this is why it's really important for me to speak with you today and to try to provide you with some information and support. These days we all need support. We are experiencing an enormous tragedy. People in Israel lost their family members, lost friends, lost co-workers, and some of them lost their homes and big parts of their communities. It is a traumatic event, and we all must take of ourselves. I would like to talk with you about the importance of self-care these days. You know, if you get on an airplane and you are traveling with a child, one of the safety instructions that in case of an emergency, you must put the oxygen mask on your face before you will give it to your child. And the reason for that is that in order to take care of someone else, we must take care of ourselves first. Your job is to be a caregiver. Your job is to take care of someone else. And I respect each and every one of you for doing, in my opinion, one of the most important jobs in the world. And that means that the basics of your job requires you to be there for someone else. And that is why you have to take care of yourself. So one of the most important things to understand is that our reality in Israel is not normal. It is everything but normal. And you know, different people react to in many different ways to this reality. There are many kind of reactions, many kind of symptoms. And I would like to give you some example. Some people are having trouble sleeping. Some people are having all kind of body aches, maybe headaches or stomach aches. Some people feel nausea. Some people lose their appetite. Some people are nervous all the time. They feel like they are, every sound makes them very, very alert. And I want to tell you that all of these reactions, all of these symptoms are normal, okay? Don't think that something is wrong with you. Don't think that you are going crazy. It is just normal. It's you reacting normal to an abnormal reality. And so be kind for yourself and be patient, okay? Don't judge yourself. Don't be harsh, okay? It is important to be with compassion to yourself and to people around you. And I have another thing to say. And if you don't feel any of those symptoms, that is normal as well, okay? So what can you do? You should try to do whatever makes you feel more relieved. Things that can make you feel less stressed. For example, if you know that exercise can make you feel better, try your best to do exercise in your home. You know, just walk around the house, walk inside the house, stretch, move, do whatever feels good. I know it might sound funny, but the movement gives you energy, so go for it. Some people uses breathing exercise, okay, if they're feeling stress. So pay attention to your breathing these days. You know, if people are feeling that their breathing is heavier, maybe they feel that their breathing is stuck. So Be aware to your breathing, and I would like to suggest you one breathing method, which is called double inhale. Okay, you take a long inhale in, and then you take a short inhale, and then you release the air slowly. You release the breath slowly. If you'll do it a couple of times, I can assure you it will make you feel better. And you know, if you are stressed, maybe during an alarm, try to do those breathing exercises. It can really help. One of the most recommended advice I can give you is to try to avoid watching videos and photos that are all over the social media. Those videos are affecting our mind and our memory, and they can cause trauma. There is no benefit in watching those videos. It does just the exact opposite. It can cause stress, it can cause nightmares, and so on. I recommend avoiding those videos, and my special request from you is not to forward those videos. Okay, I know that sometimes we have the urge to show our family, to show our friends abroad, or maybe in Israel, what the people in Israel are going through. But you know, those videos were shot by the Hamas. They are disrespectful, they are unhuman. So my request for you is not to forward them, okay? It's just wrong. Another advice is to try not to watch the news all day long, okay? It makes you feel that you are in control, but you know, it's just an illusion because it only makes you feel helpless, okay? And I will try to tell you about ways to feel in control these days. You still have control in many things, but watching the news won't help you. I want to say another thing about watching the news if you are taking care of a person with dementia or Alzheimer, okay? A person with dementia can't really understand what is going on the news. It can only make him feel more agitated, more nervous, okay? So my advice for you is to shut down the TV or maybe try to watch something else with him, a movie or something nicer, okay? I know that sometimes watching TV can be a good solution for the time to pass, but try to watch other things. One of the most important things is to be active, okay? And try to maintain a sense of control. Well, in this reality, there are things that we cannot control, okay? We cannot control the security situation in Israel. We cannot control how long it's gonna last. We cannot control what our family thinks. We cannot control what other people feelings toward us now. And we cannot control the past, okay? But still, there are so many things that are still under our control, okay? And I can give you some examples. I can try to learn how to cope with the new reality, with the new situation. I can try to avoid watching the news all day, okay? Avoid watching the videos. I can try to find some ways that can make me feel more relaxed, things that works for me, okay? I can try to rest more. I can try to sleep better at night, okay? I can try to explain my feelings and thoughts to my family. I can keep myself busy. I can do things with my employers. You know, maybe it can be a time to do things with your employer, which is experiencing the same things that you didn't think about doing before, okay? It's an opportunity. So if you will keep yourself busy and you will try to find distractions, it can make your days feel much easier and it will help you go on day by day. Think about activities that you can do with your employer, maybe things that you didn't try before, okay? It can help, as I said, to the both of you. Another recommendation is to try to be in touch with your community. You know, in the last week, I was in touch with some members of the Filipino community, and I was so impressed to hear how united they are, how organized they are, and how they take care of one another. I encourage you to be in touch with your community, with your friend. Pray together, be there for one another, listen to one another's stories or feelings. Beside helping them, it will give you a sense of meaning. It will make you feel important and meaningful member of your community. Also, it is important to know and to feel that you are not alone. We are all in this challenging time together, and when we feel united, it gives us strength. I was listening to a well-known professor by the name of Muli Lahad, who said that Israel is a miracle. We have survived genocide many years ago, and we are still here, and we'll still be here tomorrow. Hope is what gave us the ability to dream of a better future, and I wish you all to have our hope that we will overcome this war, this disaster, and we will rise again. Finally, I have one last request from you. I would like to ask you to let people know if you are in need of any help, okay? Ask for support from your patient. You know your patient, if his mind is okay, if he's lucid, you can speak to him. You can tell him that you need his support, okay? And if he'll know that you're afraid or you have thoughts, so maybe he can help you. You can ask for support from the employer's family. You can ask support from your agency, from a social worker, from your friends. And as I said, you are not alone. So thank you all for the important job that you're doing, and God bless you all. Well, if a person refuses to evacuate to a safe place, first we have to make sure that he understands the risk and the situation. Okay, so I would like to divide my answer to two kinds of employers. The first one, if he has no cognitive decline, okay, he has no dementia, Alzheimer, then we should try to gently convince him to try to join us. Tell them that it can make you feel better, and you will be more safe. He will be more safe, and you will be more calm if he will join you. He or she, of course. Tell them that you will be worrying for them if they won't join you. Okay, maybe it will help. But we need to understand that if a person makes this decision and he's lucid, his mind is okay, we cannot force him, okay? We cannot force anyone to evacuate. Of course, we can try to speak with the family and tell them about your dilemma. If a person does have a cognitive decline or dementia, okay, you should do whatever you can do to be assertive and say, now we need to go to a safe place, okay? Now we need to go to that room on the right, that room on the left, maybe to the staircase, to the safest place that you have, okay? You should say that you will do this together so he can feel convenient with you. Again, you should share this with the employer's family, okay, and try to find a solution together. Don't be in this dilemma alone. You should discuss this dilemma with the family. Maybe the family member can join you in the house and try to convince that person, your employer, to go with you to the safe place. Maybe you can go together to the family member's house, okay? But again, you should discuss it with with the family of the employer. If the employer is insisting on watching TV all day long and he's hearing the news in a very high volume and it bothers you, and as I said earlier, watching the news can be very upsetting. So you should try to speak with your employer. Tell them in reason, try to talk reasonably, that it makes you inconvenient, okay? It makes you feel stress. Tell them also that it's not good for them. Maybe ask the family to buy headphones for the employer, okay? Maybe you can watch the news and hear the news with the headphones, and it won't make you feel afraid. It is very, very good and important to know to ask for help if needed. First, I recommend to share your feelings with your employer if he's eligible to help and support you, and also with the family, okay, with the family of your employer. Again, if you need support, it is important to do whatever you can do to maintain self-care, okay? But if you feel that you need a professional support, okay, professional help, there are a couple of things you can do. First of all, you can call your agency and ask to speak with the social worker of the agency, okay? And she will be able to assist you. Another thing is that you can call the call center, okay? That the number has been given before. And another thing, there are 2 more call centers that you can call, and they can give you a mental professional help in your language, which is, it can be in English or in Russian. And the 2 organizations that are giving this service are Natal and Iran. Okay, so it is very, very important to ask for support if you feel that you need.
Today, I would like to talk to you a little bit about your rights as workers. But I think before that, it is much more important to tell you that we as Israelis are very appreciative that you are staying here in Israel with us, understanding how much we need you, how much we need your assistance, and that we really appreciate it and feel your love and your support for us. So first and foremost, I would like to say thank you very much. Regarding your rights as employees, there is the legal sphere and there is the everyday life sphere. Actually, legally, there is no change in your status. You have the same rights and duties as workers. It doesn't matter if you're caregivers, if you work in agriculture, if you work in construction. Actually, everything is pretty much legally the same. The everyday life is, of course, very different and very challenging. And I think what I would like to ask you is to be much more sensitive to the situation. Because I think that if you will show that you're sensitive to your employers, then they will also show you that they're sensitive to you and to your needs. So there shouldn't be any change in salary payments. There is no change in what you're supposed to do in your everyday life, in your work. The only changes are in regards to what the IDF is telling you. Those who don't work in caregiving, who work in agriculture, who work in construction, they need to get information from their employers if their working places are shut down or not. If they're shut down, there are some special instructions and your employers know about that. And if you have specific questions in regards to that, of course, you can contact your private agencies. You can call the Ministry of Labor. We will try to answer your specific questions. But in general, there shouldn't be any change. If you're working in places that are not in the front, then you're supposed to do your work as you do it every day. There is no change in, as I said, payments, in your rights. And also I have to say that if you were injured during an attack, then you have the same rights as every Israeli to go to the National Insurance Institute, the Bituach Leumi, and ask to get reimbursements. I think that because it's something that has a lot of criteria, maybe you should talk to the private agencies and get more information, but only if you got injured. Don't ask theoretical questions at these times. Everybody is very, very busy, and please do it only if it's relevant. We get a lot of questions regarding caregivers, asking if they can leave, if they can quit, or if they have any special kind of instruction during these times. I think the very important thing is to be in touch with your employer and with the family of the employer, and to talk a lot. You can talk to them about your fears, about your concerns, about how to help the people with disability to understand the situation. I think that if you talk to the family, it will give you a lot of solutions. Also, of course, please be in touch with your family abroad. Tell them that you are getting help, that you are getting the instructions how to keep safe. It is important for them to know that you're okay. Also, these are very good times to be in touch with friends and with your own community. You need to talk a lot, you need to get information, so please don't hesitate to contact your friends. Please understand that people with disabilities or their families are very stressed at these times when they need to know that the people that they care for and of want to make sure that they're in good hands. Now, it doesn't matter if we are at a time of war or not. You can, of course, not abandon the people that you're taking care of. This is right for each and every situation that we're talking about. But of course, this has special meaning now. So if you're afraid, first of all, I think you should contact the family of the employer. Also, please contact your agency. But also understand that you're responsible of a person and you cannot just leave. If you still have, if you're still afraid and you would like to you would like to terminate the employment, then you have to understand that you are required to give prior notice. If you work more than 1 year, then it has to be at least a month. And also understand that if you're not giving the required time for prior notice, then actually the employer can deduct it from your last salary. So please take this into consideration. If you want to go for a break, you think it's a time for you to be with your family abroad, then this is something that you have to make sure that the family knows enough time before so they can also find a replacement. You cannot just, take your luggage and leave. Also, if it's just for a little time. First of all, because the employer needs to get an inter-visa for you. And second, because they need to find a replacement. So please be sensitive to that. Give enough time ahead so that the employer can adjust. And also make sure that you have actually a flight to attend to, because the airport is working, but there is not a flight to everywhere every day. So please take that also into consideration. If you decided to terminate your employment, for what kind of reason? Remember to give prior notice, and then also know that you're entitled to all the payments that you are entitled anyway when you terminate the employment. You're not entitled to get 100% of what is called pitsuim. So you cannot get the full payment for termination of employment. You are entitled only to 72% of the payments, and this is from the employer or his family. If you are also working through a caregiving or nursing company, then you have some of the money kept in the Pikadon, which is an account managed by PIBA. And to get the money that you have there, you need to leave Israel for good, not for inter-visa. So if you leave Israel for good and you want to get the payments in this account, in the Pikadon, you need to contact the private agency and tell them enough time ahead so they will prepare the money. This is not something that happens in a day or two. You have to give at least 14 days ahead. However, it is important for me to tell you that even if you left Israel and you didn't get the money because you didn't give a prior notice to the agency, or you just forgot, or some kind of emergency happened, it doesn't matter. You can still contact the private agency or PIBA directly through their website and you will get your money. Don't worry. Please don't worry. Don't make that as a criteria to leave Israel on time if you're supposed to leave Israel. If you got injured due to an attack, then you have to know your rights, medical rights and other rights. First of all, you're supposed to have a health insurance. made through your employer. This is an obligation that your employer has in order to employ you. Now, your coverage is supposed to be for these kinds of treatments, and the hospitals in Israel know about that. If a friend of you has passed away because of a military attack, then you should know that you can go to the National Insurance Institute of Israel, and his family, the family of your friend, will be entitled to get a payment because of that. Again, please, for more information, you can go to the website of the National Insurance Institute, but the best way, in my opinion, is to ask these questions to the placement bureaus, to the private agencies, and they will give you this information. A lot of workers are asking me what should they do if they're afraid. Can they just leave their working place? So the answer to that would be that you cannot just leave without telling your employer, without maybe trying to get some kind of solution from your employer. I asked you in the beginning to be very sensitive, and this is something that we ask also from all employers, and I have to say that we are all in the same boat. So Israelis understand that as they are frightened, probably you are too. They will give you support. If you still don't want to continue working for any kind of reasons, I have to say that all the regulations regarding to termination of employment, to your notice of termination of employment, apply here as in regular times, meaning that you will have to give your employer a prior notice, and if you're not eligible to continue to work in Israel, then this will also apply to you at these times. I will have to say that this is not something that is special for foreign workers. This applies to every worker in Israel. So also if I'm afraid and I don't want to go to work, I will have to tell my employer that I'm resigning. And this is something that you need to take into consideration. So we said in the beginning that your rights and duties as a worker are actually the same. However, these are not standard times. This is a time of an emergency, and everybody has to be very sensitive. So we ask you to be very sensitive to your employer, to the PWD, to the family, as we ask them as well. If you're not sure what you're supposed to do in a specific situation, or in a situation when you hear an emergency and the employer doesn't want to go with you to a safe place, or that you know ahead that the safe place is very far, or that you will have difficulties in going to the safe place with your employer, please talk about these kind of situations ahead. Ask questions, ask the family what you should do. Come maybe with some solutions that you think about. But in any case, you're not supposed to put your life in danger. And to make sure that you're not putting your life in danger, it is very important to talk about it with the people that you are in contact with. Again, the family, the employer, the private agency. And if you're not sure that they're answering you or giving you the right answers, please don't hesitate to contact the Ministry of Labor, CIMI, PIBA, any kind of office that can give you formal answers to your questions.
I'm here for supporting the immigration and foreign workers administration to support you with important information regarding the Home Front Command and what to do during crisis time. My name is Gili Shanar. I'm a national spokesman of the Home Front Command for the public, and I will address you about what to do during a crisis time over here in Israel. The first question is what to do during a rocket attack, and this is one of the most important issues that you have to prepare for. The first thing that we have to do is to receive the alert, and I will explain later how can you receive the alert. When you receive the alert, you have to enter protective space according to the time that you have in the area that you are living in. For example, in Tel Aviv area, we have 19 seconds. In Beersheba, we have only 1 minute. So you have to know how much time do you have in each area that you are to enter the protective space. Then when you enter the protective space, you have to stay there for 10 minutes and to wait for instruction. If you didn't get any instruction, you can go out after 10 minutes and continue doing whatever you need. If you are indoor, the protective space is, first of all, if you have a mamad, this is a shelter, a home shelter, or if you have a shelter in the building, this is the first priority. Otherwise, we'll go to a staircase. If you live in an apartment, in a house that has more than 4 floors, you will go down 2 floors down and stay in the staircase. If it's 3 stores only, you'll go 1 floor down and stay over there. If you don't have a staircase, you will choose interior room which has minimum windows and doors, which is not the bathroom or toilet, which has ceramics, and we don't want to be in this room during an alert. So this was the first thing, what to do during a rocket attack. If you are outside and you hear the siren, enter a shelter if it's nearby, according to the time that you have in the area. If you don't have a shelter or a near building, lie on the ground and protect your head like that. You have to lie on the ground again for 10 minutes to protect yourself. After 10 minutes, you can continue and go to your normal life. If you are riding the car and you hear the siren, stop the car safely. Go out of the car, don't stay in the car. If you can reach a shelter or a building, the same thing that you did outdoor, during the time that, according to the time that you have in your area, go inside a building or a shelter. If you don't have it, again, lie on the ground and protect your head. Don't lie, of course, on the road. Do it the side of the road in a safe place. Regarding how to receive an alert, we have 2 major possibilities. First of all is the siren. You might hear the siren. The second is to use the Homefront Command application. You can download it from the relevant stores. It's of course free of charge, and you can choose there areas of interest, or you can use also the GPS. Wherever you will be in Israel, you will receive the alert if it's needed. So we hear the siren, or we will receive it by using the Homefront Command application. You have to download to your phone and do it following to the instruction that you have in the application. The important thing is saving. You can find more information, of course, in our website regarding that. Why is it so important to stay 10 minutes in the shelter or in the safe zone during a rocket attack? We have actually 2 major reasons for that. The first one, that during a rocket attack, there might be more than 1 rocket, and therefore, even if you hear the explosion, maybe there might be more rockets on the way. And the second thing is sometimes we have Iron Dome, and if the Iron Dome have shell nades that might fall down during a rocket attack, and therefore it's also important. These are the 2 major reasons to stay 10 minutes. Staying 10 minutes in the safe zone is in order to protect your life. For more information, you can reach us, first of all, in the Homefront Command website, which is in several languages, included English and Russian. So you can find all the information I spoke about, many video clips which can give you instructions regarding what I explained just now. And of course, you can call our website, you can call our call center, and the number is 1 or 4. So these are the major ways to receive more information. Our website, which is oref.org, rishon.org.il, and a lot of information is published over there. Another important thing is, of course, is to be ready for emergency, and therefore you have to check that you have the major equipment at home. First of all, water. It's very important to have water for about 72 hours at home. The second thing is to have the medicine, and if you have also people that are using the medicine, it's important to have the medicine at home, that it won't be needed to run out to a physician or to look for a new medicine. Another thing is to have food at home, to have a flashlight that if we won't have electricity, you can use it, and of course to have a radio and TV, which is important. If you can have also first aid kit, it's also important. So I can tell you that now is the time really to be ready. The Home Front Command is here, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate, give a call to our call center or use our website. And these are the major things that you can do in order to protect yourself. It's important to know what to do during crisis time and when you have an alert. And if you are prepared, that you can reduce your vulnerability. And this is the most important thing to do during crisis time. Thank you.
First of all, I want to thank you for your dedicated care of our elderly and people with disabilities, especially in these challenging times. The most important thing that you can do now is plan ahead. Know how long you have to reach the shelter, know where the safest place is that you and your employer should reach, remove obstacles, and have discussions with the family of your employer, the families that know them and that can help you with their plan. For people with limited mobility that cannot reach an outside shelter or staircase on time, the safest place would be in an inner room inside home. An inner room with as few outside walls, windows, and openings as possible. Kitchens, bathrooms, or toilets cannot be used in an inner room. If they are bedridden or depending on a wheelchair, it is best if they spend the night. The room should be prepared ahead of time with all the equipment they need. Breakable objects should be removed, and the bed or wheelchair should be close to the wall, closest to the corner as possible, and not near any windows or anything that can break and shatter. According to the Home Front Command instructions in your area, which can be found on the National Emergency Portal, you can determine if you are able to leave home and find out what the guidelines are. In an open area, lie on the ground and protect your head with your hands, like this. When a rocket hits the ground, the explosion blast wave generates fragments that can injure anyone standing up or sitting down.